games on PC with
This is
adapter.
the downfall of PlayStation? No,
Ooh,
I think
well,
they're just accepting the fact that their VR line is dying or is almost dead. I mean, I know they announced what was it? You said the Alien VR game.
basically, PlayStation's been kind of a tricky spot recently. Their sales of the PS5 have slowed down,
Mhm.
and let's be real. Like after Spider-Man 2, like what's come out? Like what's PlayStation got coming that people are really excited for? The PlayStation lineup's been pretty thin. And
Yeah,
it's a lot of okay. You know what's ironic? Do you remember how Xbox 360 was, where it settled into this like pattern of
Halo.
Halo, Forza, Gears, Halo, Forza, Gears, and that just
Yeah.
Sony's kind of doing the same thing now with
Well, you know,
God
back
of
then it
War.
worked. Like Halo carried 360. Right, Gears of War was also really good. Don't get me wrong. I loved
Hmm.
it. The Carmine brothers, hurrah! Like it was a good time. But it has been two generations, and you can't keep
Halo,
that up.
Gear 6, baby, Halo
Yeah,
Infinite. Let's
Gear
go!
7. Yeah, no, it's that method. I mean, maybe Sony will just keep coming out with bangers sequels, but because I don't know if they'll go the way of Microsoft and make God of War a multiplayer. Like
No,
that's
they did
something
that for
that they
Ghost of
have that.
Tsushima, but
Yeah,
they,
but I sort of doubt that
yeah,
Ghost of Tsushima 3 or 4 will be like mainly multiplayer.
no, no.
Yeah.
The
So
multiplayer component's really good though, like surprisingly in
yeah.
depth. So it's
If I
like
remember right, they're bringing that to Steam, which is
nice.
another admittance that they're like, all right, let's get more sales. Of course, this comes out like what year, 2 years after Ghost of Tsushima's come out, maybe more than 2 years. But if I remember, if you want to play multiplayer, you have to sign up with like a PlayStation account, PSN
It's
account,
dumb,
like they try to do with Helldivers.
dumb.
It is dumb.
Why?
And it seems like the
Why?
PC players are more resilient
They
to
are.
that. I mean, you look at Helldivers, they literally one of the most praised games in the year got turned to ash, turned to shit because you fucked with the place or with the PC
PC
people.
player. Yep. No, it's fucked up. And honestly, let's be real. Helldivers 2 is falling into a bit of a content lull.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of
The natural life of a
yeah,
game, right? Like
natural life of a game. You're not going to be as big as I mean, they'd have to come up with a huge content dump or like new mechanics
just
or
constant
yeah.
every like that's just too much. You
And
can't
you know what? They didn't take advantage with microtransactions like COD. They did have some though, but they didn't.
knowingly.
Yeah.
Look, I'm ready to hell dive again when we have to go battle the Illuminates.
Yeah, when they
Uh,
come up with a new faction, and
oh
they'll have a
yeah,
bump. It probably won't be as big as the first bump,
but it'll be a
but
bump. There'll be
yeah,
definitely a big bump. There'll definitely be a lot of players who
and that's
want to
they
fight the
probably made a lot of
Illuminates.
money through the microtransactions. They've made more money than they ever thought they would with it. All
But
right, so they
back to
can
PlayStation
shell
real
out more
quick though.
content. Yeah,
The
sorry.
VR
So
the VR
yeah,
underperformed, and it's a really good system. Arguably, it's probably one of the best ones for gaming outside of it is probably the best one for gaming right now at this
mhm.
moment in terms of screen and specs
Better
and
than
all
the
that.
Apple Vision Pro.
You can't even really play games on that right now.
Yeah, there's not many apps on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, its screen is better. Its screen is better. But
Mhm.
in terms of something you can play games with, it's the only one with an OLED screen.
And for like a fifth of the cost.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant system, but there's no games for it, and the PS5's also kind of floundering right now too.
Mhm.
So it's like PlayStation in general is just cutting, and I think they also cut some of their workforce a few months back too. So everybody's doing cuts. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think really what's wrong is PS5's just freezed up. They did what Xbox did a few years ago. They're relying too much on old names, and PlayStation they are successful because they managed to make new stuff, even if it's not always good. Everything from Knack, which was, let's be real, complete shit, to like Last of Us, which was one of its biggest titles now, if not its biggest
Yeah.
franchise. So it's like Sony needs to continue doing that into the next generation, or it's going to basically go the way of the Xbox. Also, speaking of which, you mentioned all that stuff about PlayStation floundering. Xbox is putting their games on PlayStation. We just got
Yeah,
Sea of
yeah, they're gonna
Thieves,
put a Hi-Fi Rush on there too, right? Sea of Thieves, yeah,
Grounded,
Sea of Thieves, Grounded.
and there's some other games I'm missing. Oh, we got Stalker. We got the
Yeah.
Stalker games finally. 10,
Also,
20
like,
years
what
later.
makes you a little sad? I mean, Hi-Fi Rush, sad they're getting it, which is one of the biggest things. Maybe at the end of the day, you can buy these things on PC, so I don't understand. Like, I can see why they would put it on PlayStation because they're like, at the end of the day, we're basically just migrating toward Windows. If you buy Windows, we won. buy the PC, yada yada. But
Hmm.
like when I look at Grounded, which is made by Obsidian, I'm like, that does not make me feel happy. Like you're giving Obsidian games to PlayStation. I'm like, well, one day will they get Outer Worlds 2? Will they get Outer Worlds 1?
Well, can we get the good games,
Hmm.
please? Can you guys stop
Yeah.
giving us all your
Look,
garbage?
Grounded is fun, but it's not Outer Worlds,
Can we
right?
get Starfield?
But
I
back to
like
the
Starfield.
Star
I
the best
know,
game.
I know it's not. Well, look, they do. They're guarding Starfield like it's worth anything.
Just sell it everywhere at this point. I just show it off to everyone. Let them
Let us
get
all
a
watch
feel.
the burning tire dump, please.
Yeah, but like with
Don't talk about it.
PSVR 2, because I don't think they're making a lot of money through the sales of PSVR, like the system itself. They probably make most of their money through selling games through
Hmm.
PSVR, right? It's like a
The game
console.
line's been pretty thin for
Yeah,
VR. Yeah.
and if you make most of your money through selling games for that item, and then you're going to put on a platform where you will not make games or make
Hmm.
sales through the games being sold through Steam, right? Or Epic or wherever you're going to buy the games from.
It's gonna hurt it long term too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know,
She,
another part of it too, though, is that Sony's position's changed
yeah,
quite a bit since their first VR
yeah.
console.
But there's one last thing though. It seems like they're
We got
trying to move old stock.
Yeah, no, yeah, they have a backlog. So
Yeah.
there's a huge. I'll say one more thing because we only got like 3 minutes. There's
Yeah.
been a huge change for Sony's position in the market. Back during the VR1 days, Sony had the cheapest VR on the market, even if you combined it with the PS4's price. It was the cheapest. I think it was like at high four, five, $600, somewhere in that like $300 to $600 range. Cheapest on market. But then the Quest came out and it was really good. And then the Quest 2 came out and the 3 came out, and they're both all really, really fucking good. And how much did it cost? It cost the price of a PlayStation. So I don't. I think Sony was also playing with the some old assumptions that it had. Like, oh, we could be like the cheap high end competitor, like we were a few years ago. But that's not like it's not like the Quest is really good. Like I've seen it. Like I played on one. It's really good. I don't like. I think you need to do more than that. You know.
Yeah.
I think they needed to make it wireless. A lot of people wanted a wireless headset. I think that might have gone a long way, but I don't know if that would have saved it.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think VR is kind of dying in general, though, to be honest, because like there's not a lot of use cases for VR.
Yeah, and I was talking to someone else the other day, and they're like, "Oh, I don't think VR, like, even with Apple pushing for it, like it still isn't there yet." I
It's
mean,
no, I think
personally,
there's an issue with it. I think there's a fundamental flaw. It's isolating. If you have any like if you want to use it for work, it's kind of bad for work because
mhm.
you're isolated from all your peers. Yeah, you could be on face call maybe, but that's still weird. And it's also like a lot of layers to something that's simple. If you want to use it for work, it's still cheaper to buy four like high end
Yeah.
screens and just tape them together. That's still cheaper. Like it's just the technology is impractical.
And if you really need something on the go, you can get like a really good portable monitor from like Intel for a couple hundred.
You mean a laptop?
Yeah, you could get a laptop, and if you really need extra, because one good thing about the headset, we have like a minute left, but you can
Mm-hmm.
have multiple screens. I'm like, just get portable monitor. Like you get little ones that basically fit in a fold, like a Microsoft Surface, like that small, thinner than that even, and it's what 100, 200.
Or forgo the screens and get 4 times the computer
Yeah,
for half the price.
or get
Mm.
both. You can get three computers. You get three, depending on which one you want.